Hello friends, today we are in discussion with Mr. Chaitanya Chinchlikar. He's the Vice President of the Whistling Woods School of Arts, and which trains stalwarts for the Indian film industry, not just in India but for all over the world. And we are proud that, glad in fact that he has given us time to speak about 8 years of Susashan. Chaitanya ji, namaskar. Uh, how do you, I mean, as you know, sir, Prime Minister Modi has completed 8 years as of his tenure. What do you think are the most striking achievements that you have found and for the state as well as the country?
So, looking at, let's talk about the country first. So, without doubt, the way that he has been able to really expand governance to reach everybody, whether it's through digitization, whether it's using the Jam Trinity, whether it's the Jandhan accounts, whether it's Ujjwala, whether it's PM Awas. This is without doubt his one of his most important and most successful achievements, right? Because for 70 years there was a big chunk of the country that was simply not governed, like they had no connect with the with actual governance and growth of the country. The other big achievement is the fact that we have now vaccinated over 1 billion Indians, and that we've been able to do it such quickly, actually, given the fact that within a year we had almost reached 1 billion. So I think that's I would say the second big achievement. Other than that, there has been the India's foreign policy, which I think has gone spectacularly well. Today we're friends with both Israel's and Arab nations, where whether it's France, whether it's the US, we have great equations with Australia, Japan. So I think India's foreign policy has finally seen India take its place where it should be. So that I would think is another big achievement. Highway construction, infrastructure development has been great. That's another thing that I think we should all be proud of. One thing which most people don't really talk about but actually has a lot of impact is the Ayushman Bharat scheme. The fact that almost 500 million Indians are now have Mediclaim or hospitalization insurance up to 5 lakhs. It's incredible. The change that small thing can make in people's lives, because most people fall into poverty because of medical issues and because of things that you can't really save for that kind of money for those kind of problems. So Ayushman Bharat has been one of his quiet sleeper hits. You have the obvious ones. You have Article 370 abrogation. You have the fact that we had what should have been done long time ago is to kind of hit back at Pakistan and basically explain to them that boss औकात में रहो. So that has been, I think, one or two big things that have happened in addition to the foreign policy stuff. Managing the economy better during the entire lockdown and COVID, that's been good. I think the one good thing has also been that we started privatization. Air India was a watershed moment, and we kind of hope to see more things happening. Closer to my industry, I think the new education policy is finally loosened the shackles. I don't think it has broken the shackles yet, but it has loosened the shackles for high quality education to emerge and private people to get more involved in education at a higher level. I still think there is work to be done. There are still things like education is still looked upon as something that should be done without more as like charity, or like something that is voluntary, and something that should be kind of done, which I don't see why that needs to happen. If you want high quality, you have to have private money. If private money is going to come in, or even public limited company are going to do education, you need to allow them to make a decent amount of profit. You can't have this whole altruistic undertone to education. So while yes, the government and the education that the government does can be at that level, but you have to allow both ends to prosper, right? So just like we do in medical, you should have it in education as well. So that's, I think, is one place where work needs to be done. The other place where work needs to be done is what is actually started, but will actually have a much deeper impact going forward. Is the whole is the water coming into people's houses, because that saves illnesses, that saves hours and time of rural families, where primarily the ladies who have to walk a long distance in order to fetch water. So that needs to end. See, also what will start to happen is, both with Ujjwala as well as the water, we will actually start to see real impact of that 10 years from now. Because what happens is, before the gas came into the house, it was the women of the house who would have to leave the house and spend 2-3 hours outside looking for firewood and bringing water. That is the time that they wouldn't spend with their children. Now that they don't have to do that, now you've got 2-3 hours extra that the mother is spending with the child. And there is, every single study will show you that the more time the mother spends with the child, the better the child's development is, the more empathetic the child is, the smarter, or the child is more receptive to the education and world and all those things. And that's really what we'll start to see 5 years or 10 years down the line, the impact of this. So these are some things that are that we're going to start to see delayed impact of, that Mr. Modi has achieved over the last 8 years. And we hope to see that continuing. I hope to see more privatization. BPCL needs to kind of be privatized, and we need to look at more and more of privatization. Government should just get out of being in business. There's really there's no rationale for the government being in business. I know the farm laws have been repealed. That's a little sad. I hope we're able to see the kind of revolution in agriculture that we have seen in industry in the last 25 years ago. I hope we're able to see it in agriculture in the near future. I hope we're able to go back to a time when the civil service was actually looked upon as those that brought the nation forward and drove the nation, and not something that is holding the nation back. So we need civil service reform, we need police reform, we definitely need judicial reform, we need labor reform. So these are things that I'm looking forward to seeing from the government over the next few years, in addition to a major unshackling of the education ecosystem. As far as media and entertainment industry goes, it's honestly, there is really no input I can give Modi ji, who's like a master user of the audiovisual medium. There have been very, very few political entities and political parties and politicians in India who have used all areas of the audiovisual medium as well as Mr. Modi has. So there is really no advice that I would like to give him, or no inputs that I have for Modi ji on the audiovisual front. Just allow the audiovisual industry to kind of take flight and become the sharp end of the stick when it comes to breaking through, taking India's culture globally, which is what its job is, right? So one of the big reasons why the US and so much of the world is Americanized is because through their content they have sold American lifestyle, American products, American culture, which is why below average food establishments like McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts have lines outside them, because they are being portrayed as cool in content. We need to do that for Indian content as well. Through great quality, high quality, cool Indian content, we need to be able to sell vada pav and dabeli and misal to the world. And it will happen. I mean, right now it may sound a little funny, but very much doable, right? We sold a fantastic job. We did a great job of selling yoga to the world. We have started to now sell kabaddi to the world by taking it from the dust into a far more slick and far more modern sport while retaining the core. And now you have a team from South Korea and you have a team from Afghanistan and other countries who are playing kabaddi. Why can't we do the same with Malkham? Why can't we do the same with so many other sports and cultural aspects of India? So these are some of the things that I'm looking forward to.
Thank you very much, Chaitanya for your candid and prompt views, and I hope that we can fulfill all your suggestions in the coming 2 years. We as in the Modi Sarkar. Thank you for your time once again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.